Blue group. Okay, blue group, this is your line. In case you've forgotten what it sounds like, let me play it for you. So here is your line. Now, these are the chords that I kind of figured out for you. I went ahead and put 2 of each so you can kind of hear what they sound like. So here I figured out it's a C chord because you have E and G. So I put those there. And this one is also an E and G. And then here you have F and A. So this was an F chord. So I have that there. These two were I was kind of iffy on. So I went ahead and put 2 G chords just to see what you think of them. And then here I have a C. So let's hear what it sounds like with those chords. Unmute everyone. Alright, so take a listen. Okay, this part here, as you can hear, it kind of clashes a little, because here we have a G, like in a G chord, but we also have an E, so that's kind of a clash here. And here we have a D, but not a G. But I'm kind of liking it. Let me see what happens if I make this a C. So let me try that. Let's see what that sounds like. That sounds a little better. I think I want to keep it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this chord to a C, and we're just going to kind of work around it. Now I'm going to show you how to build your bass line. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to put 8 toms. We're going to start off simple, very, very simple. All right. Now, when it comes to creating a bass line, you really got to pay attention to not so much here. You got to pay attention not so much here, but more here. Okay, going up and down, because that's where you're going to hear clashes. That's where you're going to hear harmony. All right. So, and the key to composing this way is to make sure that your lines match up this way. So let me give you an example. We'll make this very simple. So for instance, we have a C chord here, 2 C chords. Now, since we have 2 C chords, our first 2 notes could be just fine. So I'm just going to leave it at C and C. So C and C. Your next chords are F's. Now, let's keep things simple and let's make these F's. Alright, so let me move these up to F. Alright, and then here we have a C. Now, we could jump back to C here. We could go from F back to C. Or we could have this go to G. And then that would make it nice because we have a G here and we have a G here. So we could make it go to G here and then conveniently have it go back to C. So let's hear what that might sound like. Let me just hear the bass line first. Here we go. Okay, that's actually not bad. I like the progression. It's not super, super hard. Let's hear what it sounds like with your melody line. Now, mind you, you're not going to hear this part. You're just going to hear your melody and your bass. Listen. So you hear how that works out nicely. They line up nicely as far as chords go. Now, There's just one problem. This line is very, very easy. Super easy. Because all it is just ta, 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 ta. It's a simple, it's what kindergartners do. So I would call this maybe a kindergarten, maybe even a first grade line. So what I need for you to do is come up with a 5th grade level line. How do you do that? Well, you use your chords that I gave you. Figure out different notes. And if you have it in you, you may want to choose notes in between. So like here, you would have a C, but maybe this one could maybe even be a D, maybe an F. You may have to do a little exploring there, but or maybe you just want to make it an E. Make it an E, maybe let's see, C, E. For the F, maybe you want to have a bump T like you do up here, and then maybe something here, or maybe you want to add some T's here. So just something to make it more 5th grade. Remember to keep it still simple enough for a 5th grader to do, but not too simple to where all you're doing is keeping the beat. Okay? Now, for your veggie line, for your harmony line, I want you to, this should be a little bit more complex. So maybe you can have 8th notes all in here with the chords, of course, to match up the chords. Or maybe you can have 8th notes here and then bump T here. It's up to you. So you're kind of going to do the same thing with this line, but you're going to make it a little bit more complex. So I'm anxious to see what you guys come up with.